be a lot that I could do in a day, because we know that things take time in order to change. But if I was mayor for today, I think I would do something similar to Jakiran. I think, going back to that community level, back in Baltimore, I think that, what's happened over the past couple of days, when we talk about the community coming together, that's key. The community coming together, fellowshipping, and just building those relationships, because I think that in order for us to repair that broken community, then we have to really come back, come together as a community, and just start to build those relationships. So.
You want to answer?
If I was mayor for today, I'd probably say I will, open hospitals, open more schools, such as activities for the young children, like, stuff for them to do. In New Orleans, children it's called follow the leader. They do what they see. So if I was the mayor, I'd probably try to open, like game rooms and such as laser tag. Like, they don't really have activities out there for them to do. So I probably would, something for them to open stuff.
Gentleman in the back.
Phil Lee from the Baltimore City team and Johns Hopkins. I wondered if you could give an example of where you think there's been the most impact, whether it was a meeting or an event, where the youth really changed some of the programs or policies. Because I think learning from the different cities has been really important. And also, besides politely clapping, we really do appreciate the work that you and the young people in all of our cities are doing.
Thank you for your question. We'll get another question before we turn to the panel. Mr. Jack.
Great job, Jamara. Jack Calhoun. And first thing on the mayor question, next time you get asked that question, say, we're going to change the law and have you be mayor not for 1 day, but for 4 years. So my question to you guys, thank you, you've been absolutely terrific, is what keeps your legs under you? What keeps you going?
So, 2 questions we have on the floor. What keeps you going? What keeps your legs under you? But also, what is, I would assume, what is that moment, that meeting, that interaction that happened to help you get better engaged in this work? And you can answer either question.
I'll answer the second question. What keeps me going? What keeps my legs under me? Seeing the product of your work. Seeing someone transform from a gang member to a high school graduate to a college graduate. That's what keeps my legs under me. Being able to engage the youth is what keeps me and motivates me. Sometimes I opened up my door too far sometimes, and I get calls 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because they need someone to talk to, or they've got somewhere in a situation where they're unable to get out of. I have to be able to drive myself to know that, hey, I put myself in this predicament where I am the person they call. So that keeps my legs under me.
Thank you. Anyone else?
For me, I would start by answering the second question. What keeps me going is that support system. I will continuously say this, that, it's the relationships that you build, the relationships that you make. And then also, like Jakiran said, the products of the work that you're doing. I know, really quickly, just a quick story, a gentleman that I worked for a community development corporation, so a young gentleman, 17 years old, who was a dropout, experiencing a lot of family issues. His mom, put him out because his stepdad didn't like him, and he came to my office every single day, and he just came there to talk. Me building that relationship with him, he said, I helped him with resume, helped him to link him with, GED programs. He said, I just want to thank you because, I just feel like you're the only person that cares about me. And for me, things like that are just so powerful. When you're able to build relationships and be able to be a mentor to someone, that's really key, because those things actually work. And I think those are the things that will, move our cities forward and our nations forward.
Now, for the rest of the panelists, what was that moment, that meeting that helped to change for you?
I guess for me, it was once I got into college. I'm a student at the University of Louisville, and once I started to see the discrepancies between who I went to high school with, who I grew up with, and who I saw on campus, and getting involved on campus, and definitely seeing the work that's being done, but how a lot of it isn't always impactful. And just seeing that if I see that, you know, there are programs out there, there's funding out there, and there are people out there that want to make these changes but don't really know what exactly is going on, then it's definitely like if I have an idea of what's going on and I care to know what's going on, then I'm definitely going to get in those positions to be a part of those changes.
I take a hit at that question as well. That moment for me was being out of my community. One of my first mentors, he got me that exposure that I was missing. Growing up in what I consider to be the heart of Memphis, Frazier, growing up within just one zip code, pretty much my entire life, I wasn't exposed to different things. I never knew what I actually would grow to like, because all I seen was the neighborhood drug dealers or wanting to be a professional athlete or a rapper. But once I got that exposure, it opened up my mind, because you grow accustomed to what you see. That exposure, he took me to the University of Memphis campus. I said, you know what, I want better. This is just the beginning for me and wanting better. From there, graduated high school, got accepted to the University of Memphis. I tried my best to get out of Memphis, but God kept me there, I guess, to continue my work as I do. And that was that pivotal moment for me, was that exposure, and that's what I try to help the youth gain.
Thank you. Gentleman in the back?
Yes, ma'am. Charles Noel Major with the Memphis Police Department. I'd just like to say, first of all, to the panelists, first of all, I'm very proud of each and every one of you. And Jacurian especially, 2 years ago, Jacurian came up to this conference. Jacurian didn't have a suit. Matter of fact, he refused to wear a suit. I had it all set up for him to go get a suit, and I wanted him to look nice, but he decided he wanted to wear polo and some starched jeans, which was okay. But my point is, to each and every one of us in the audience, we must provide support for the youth. Jacurian became, he's telling his story, but Jacurian at an early age got in trouble, okay? We could have written Jacurian off, but Jacurian pulled himself up by the bootstraps and decided that he wanted to become a police officer. But in order to become a police officer, you must have a sterling background. Nothing in your background, you must be as clean as a whistle. That was not the case with Jacurian. Jacurian had, at best, a checkered background. So now what do? This young man, we've told him what to do and pull yourself up by the bootstraps, you're doing well. But he wants to become a police officer. But he got one little thing that's holding him back. So Director Armstrong looked at it, looked at Jacurian, and said, well, normally in a situation like this, we file 13 the application because of his background. But Director Armstrong, being a product of a single mother from North Memphis, knowing that people in his life gave him a chance, he decided that he was going to give Jacurian a waiver, and decided, Jacurian, I'm giving you this waiver. I'm putting stock into you. I'm putting my trust into you. And now you see the product. And so what I'm saying, to each and every one of us who have positions of power, who have an opportunity to give these young people not just lip service, but an opportunity. Take a chance. Take a chance. Take a chance. Thank you.
Thank you. And I totally forgive you for not having a question. But I think what I can ask the panelists is that there's so many misconceptions. And for all of you on the panel, a lot of times people would say that because you're here, any young person can do it. That you are, and then in really many cases, that you're not just the exception, but you're the rule. What would you say to the people in the, to the members of the audience, not only about misconceptions that they have about young people, but about giving young people a chance?
what we find today and what I've found in